Oh, Chris! Impressive bit of sloganising on behalf of the lower orders. I like the grass, very authoritative. Do you get extra for that? They never ask me.
They couldn't afford it, Timothy. Nor could the party. Morning, Peter. Are you available for consultation?
Morning, Chris. Yes, of course. Well, you're in early. I was going to give you a buzz at home once I got through some of this stuff. There are one or two things I think we ought to chat about. I had some angry man on to me about our meeting yesterday. You've upset some of the group.
All this paper. Do you know Westminster is full of people suffering from an addiction to unsolicited correspondence? The victims are characterized by two conditions, myopia and mumbling. They're punch-drunk from propaganda. Throw it away, Peter. I've been ignoring the Daily Hundredweight bump for years.
You're in bubbling good humour.
Well, the sun's shining. London is full of girls' long limbs. Place appears quite habitable.
I know the feeling.
Some of the brothers will be swaggering in today with their pluckings from the visitors' queue. Those eager girls with the high, shining foreheads and full lips permanently slightly parted, who are unaccountably attracted to this fusty warren and its scuttling rabbits. There are some aging juvenile leads in the building whose only parliamentary achievement has been the week they appeared in the strangers' bar with a different girl every night. Well, what's been happening? What do you want to talk to me about?
Well, you go ahead first. And obviously there's something which I think we ought to clear up.
Probably the same point. You've been approached by disgruntled members of our cabal, complaining bitterly that they weren't invited to our little get-together yesterday, making resentful noises about secret decisions and self-appointed elitists, and expressing themselves as generally disenchanted with the way they feel the group is being manipulated. Right? Yes, I've been given the same message. The forthright, upright, and invariably wrong Derek Smithies. A short measure pint of black country drizzle telephoned me at crack of dawn to deliver a sermon about collective action and personal integrity, and to say how much he disliked discovering from political correspondence that strategy had been agreed on his behalf without so much as a by your leave. I think it's reprehensible, Christopher. I wasn't aware we had an inner caucus deciding policy for the group. I may have to consider my position vis-à-vis and in the light of, and whereas at this moment of time, and similar tedious waffling.
The leak was unfortunate.
Inevitable.
Chris, we don't want to antagonize people. Now, we ought to call a full meeting quickly, wouldn't we? Like today.
There were 7 of us at yesterday's meeting. By this evening, we shall have had enough chance to have quiet chats with as many of the people who matter. If we make a formal occasion out of it, all of a dither of regret and protestation, we're going to appear too shamefaced. The press reports have overplayed what was nothing more than a spontaneous discussion between people who talk to each other at length most days of the week. That's our line.
Yes, which is actually an admission that our inner caucus has always steered the group.
Is it?
What answer did you give to Derek Smithers?
I told him he knew damn well he'd never had an original thought in his life, and that when I was invited to join the group, it was for the purpose of doing his thinking for him. Well, I told you it was barely dawn.
Hello, Chris. Good to see you. You're looking great. Good to see you again.
And you, Tom. Well, how's the world been treating you?
I'm surviving. Well, sitting down, Chris. I'm sitting down, sit down, sit down, sit down. What do you have to drink? You'll have some wine, eh? I never changed, but don't let me inhibit you. I'll get you a wine list.
No, please don't bother, Tom. I'll just have a glass of the house dry white.
Oh, don't be shy, man. Have a decent bottle. My employers can afford it. Waiter, waiter. A wine list, please.
No, really, Tom. A glass will do fine.
You amaze me. All part of the new bid for fame and fortune, is it, eh? Well, it seems to be paying off. You certainly look the part, lad. But you order yourself something expensive, a half if you can manage a bottle. But how about some champagnes? What Bob Hope used to call the happy bubbles. I like the gag. I couldn't stand the drink.
Well, all right, Tom. Let's see what they've got. Although I doubt if I shall finish it. Can you tell me, can you remind me exactly who your employers are? My secretary didn't seem as if she got it quite right.
No. Well, I'm not surprised. I sometimes wonder if I've got it right myself. I'm the director of a foundation called People at Work. It's supported by industry bosses' spare money. There's still plenty of that about. We're a research and education outfit with the noble aim of looking to the future harmony of worker-management relations. We're not strong on publicity. I certainly don't seek any personally nowadays. I even turn down any questions now. With some pleasure, I might add. The opiate of the people. Jesus, the things a man has on his conscience. Have you chosen?
Yes. May I have half a bottle of the, Merceau, please, Tom?
That's not champers, is it? All right. Now food.
You know, the whole thing was entirely off the cuff. I mean, someone said, well, let's have another one on the referendum result. We hadn't had half a dozen already. And then somebody said, here's the Strasbourg. Before we knew what was happening, we'd all spun off into a huddle about the best way to get the right people there.
Yeah.
No, when Chris and I were talking this morning, and he'll be round later, by the way, but he's got a lunch date with old Tom Morton. It's a bit of a sad case. Chris still has a soft spot for him. It's amazing, isn't it? To look at those two and think that Chris was once his Minister of State. Poor old Tom's an unlikely-looking one-time cabinet minister. I suppose we've got a few ruins in that category, haven't we? Now, I was saying that, well, Chris and I were really astonished at the impressions we'd got round. I mean, it sounded as... What are you both going to have?
Morning, gentlemen. 2 pints of bitter. Yours gin and tonic, Mr. Richards?
Yeah, thanks. Right. Well, it sounded damn sinister. I mean, it's laughable, really. And after all, we're not the Monday Club. And we've all got minds of our own.
Anyway, you'll give us this little talk, will you? A good solid hour of your candour, your expectations, optimistic or otherwise. I can promise you a select and attentive audience and total privacy. So you can be as disparaging as you like about whoever you like. Are you on?
All right, Tom, agreed.
Good. Cheers. You've been putting up quite a show, haven't you, eh? A hero of the referendum, defender of the faith. Or at any rate, of the leader's reputation, and that's the same thing as far as he's concerned. Any minute now, the sounds of Harold shuffling his pack will be heard. A series of thuds and moans as the various bodies collide like the blunt instruments they are. All change to the corridors of impotence.
You never come down there to see us these days, Tom.
Christ, no. I swore if ever I got clear of that place, I would never be one of those pathetic creatures, the old boys who can't elect me. Still coming about the place. Lord Knout and the former member for Shithouse West, begging for a nod of recognition, seeking to waylay some kind, unlucky listener to bore him stupid with memories of nothing worth remembering. You'll never get me in there again. Oh, I don't envy you lads your little club. I get all the gossip I need. I'm adequately informed. I pay. You'd be surprised, too. To have some strawberries. I mean, that seems to be the thing to do.
Well, of course I'm not saying that there are any members of the group who can be disregarded. You know, really, Derek, if you find Chris's attitude contemptuous, well, I just hope I'm not going to offend you further by saying, and I'm not pretending that I originated it, but at some time or another, we all get the Chris Collinson that we deserve. He has spasms of hyperbole. We all know that he can be wounding, and most of us have the odd scar that we can blame him for. Now, he's tied up at the moment. He's going to be around later, and I know that he's very anxious to see you. I was saying this morning, it's the essentially disparate nature of the group that gives it its strength. Individuality, like your own, is valued. No one is being taken for granted. After all, it's not as if we're the Monday Club. We've all got minds of our own.
Yeah, it's a pity we weren't teamed up a lot earlier. I mean, we'd have won a few fights. As it was, I mean, the 6 months we did have together, well, maybe the association didn't do you much good. I'm sorry about that. You see, when we got the boot in 1970, I knew I would never be given office again. One of the bishops of party authority. Oh, I knew the left would have to be given a few heads to slake their thirst for revenge, and one of them would be mine. I'd done such terrible things. A Labour minister publicly disapproving of strikes. Wanting shop stewards to obey the law. Oh, there's treachery. Comic, isn't it? Now you have half a cabinet of union bashers. See, 5 years is our old geological age in politics. I mean, our left-wingers, I mean, they're so daft. I mean, they really believe that the 12 million people who voted Labour are actually socialists. I mean, they cannot see that all these people want to do is get through this bloody veil of tears without getting too hurt. See, I'd always seen myself as a helper. Protector of the common clay against the sods and the snakes and the fools. Well, it meant I had to clobber a few people. I was prepared for that. Oh, two-fisted Tom, the committee room bruiser. The party made good use of my unsubtle ways. I broke a few careers. I've got blood on my hands. I belong to other members of the party. And you'll be able to say the same if all goes well with you, Chris.
Come on. Yes, done it again.
She's supposed to be a right raver, this lad.
What, on the game, is she?
Dad, no, I don't mean that. Well, aren't you interested? I thought you'd be fascinated. Ammunition. Evidence.
Put it back.
Indication of moral weakness. The sign of instability.
I've heard rumours. They're about as reliable as a rubber pit prop.
But if it was true, if he was having this big affair and people around here got to know about it, would it make any difference? Would you use it to help get rid of him?
Your game. Go get yourself a glass of pop out of the fridge.
Would you?
It wouldn't be like that. If he gets himself all over the papers with some bird he's knocking off and makes a complete clown of himself, that's his doing.
But it would be bad for him. All those committees you're always at. Oh, the tongues would be wagging. And somebody be going on about setting a bad example and improper behaviour. And you'd be sitting there enjoying it, watching them tie the noose round his neck. Would you?
Some people might not approve. I personally don't care if he stuffs his mother-in-law.
Oh, Ron! Don't be a hypocrite! You're praying it's true, aren't you? That's something you never thought of, a real gift. You'd like him to make an utter pukey mess of everything. Run off with a scrubber, marriage breakdown, the lot if only to help finish him as an MP.
Shut up! Nagging bitch!
Why don't you give this job up, Ron? I wish you would.
All right, boss.
Debate. And if he was present on that occasion, as I think he was, he would also know that not a scintilla of a new policy emerged from the front bench opposite on that occasion.
Well, we're not exactly Hancock so far, are we?
Who's listening, I wonder? Apart from the honourable members. Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the vainest of us all? Who does the public actually want to listen to? Are there still voices that grab the ear? Enoch, certainly. Barbara, surprisingly. Harold? Maybe. Orkney Joe. There is a following for superior persons. And Tony, I suppose we have to allow Tony. The little Lord Fauntleroy who burnt his velvet suit when he discovered dungarees. Revolution with dimples. Well, how's your day been, Peter? Fruitful, full of achievement?
No. Just call it running repairs.
Just as worthy, I'm sure.
I've got some people coming to see him shortly. It's a constituency matter.
I'll let you get on.
You seem a bit restless. Jumpy.
Yeah? Yes, I feel it. It's not only me, it's in the air. The heightened sensitivity. The nerves of Westminster are very close to the surface at the moment. Our leader schemes and posits and juggles. There is to be a great stirring of the pot of government.
You hoping?
I'm expecting an indication, not a job. There'll be some signs for me to read when all the bodies have been rearranged in their new pattern, like tea leaves in the cup. God, it's been a very long time since I last enjoyed uncertainty. I think I'll go and shout the odd rude word at some harmless liberal. Do you fancy a few laughs?
and early.
Morning.
Oh, give us a kiss. Having your breakfast?
I'm starving.
Fasting's the word from the look of you. Brian said noon, but it has to be a case of give or take an hour. It's a whimsical form of transport, and it's got the 2 kids to contend with.
Have you had a look at the map?
You're in charge of that part of the exercise.
I remember a holiday in Scotland. Dad standing in the road, middle of nowhere, compass in his hand. Couldn't keep it still, shaking with anger. Got us hopelessly lost that day.
They all look the same.
The roads were numbered. Surprised you ever found this place.
Well, by guess and by God.
How much longer are you going to stay?
I haven't decided yet. I don't have to for a while. The house could be mine for the rest of the year if I want it.
What about home?
At the moment, I like it here.
Has Dad got any views on the matter?
Have you had any contact with him lately? No letters? I would like you to write to him if you can find the time.
Why?
I'd like to know how you're getting on.
He hasn't asked.
You know he's very busy.
Yes, I'm not complaining. When was the last time you spoke to him? Do you think you'll ever go back?
You mustn't ask me that, David.
You've got to face up to it sometime.
Don't bully me.
We go right here. Get out next time. Yay! Quick, come on, go! Come on, hurry!
Can't see them. Jolly little place.
Brian's probably inside. I'll go and ask the landlord if he's seen a fella in a peaked cap with a parrot on his shoulder.
Alice! Alice!
Hello, Sam.
Daddy's on the boat.
I didn't see you. Is Eric playing cricket as well?
Yes, he's doing his best, but he's a terrible fielder.
Call him. We'll go and find Daddy.
Eric, come on!
You've both got such big fellows. No wonder I didn't recognize you. You're having a good time?
All right. It's this way. Where's David?
Oh, he's in the pub. He'll find us. I haven't met him for ages. Clever of you to remember his name.
Well, Daddy keeps reminding me. Daddy! Daddy!
Alice!
Hello, Brian. Ship ahoy or something.
What do you think?
It's beautiful. Like Parahandy. I didn't expect the chimney pot.
Wait till you hear it. It makes a funny noise.
Come and admire the inside. Enter by the front.
Don't you say bows and stern and so on?
No, front, back, left, right on the canal. Sorry, on the cut. Oh. All the comforts of home. Mind your head.
Oh.
Yeah! Get him!
Water lady, Sam. Cast off at the front, Eric.
You have a rare carnal exuberance, Millie. Talent for joy.
Yes, it's nice to be appreciated.
All these sex text manuals. The A to Z of the orgasm, or how to do it ever so often. I wonder if anybody ever wrote one called It Makes You Laugh.
Well, why don't you write it yourself? Publicity would be enormous. Think of a title.
Poke fun.
With Chris Collinson, the laughing member.
I think we're onto something, Billy.
I like being with you.
You make me feel 20 years younger.
You don't have to say that.
Well, a little while ago, I'd reached a very low ebb. I'd come to think, react, middle-aged. That world-weary, misanthropic style I'd adopted was very self-defeating.
You snapped yourself out of it.
Well, there was outside assistance. Peculiar confluence of events. Death and transfiguration.
Do you want to talk about Andrew? Well, sometimes I felt you wanted to, and then decided you shouldn't. Not with me.
Well, it wasn't through any sense of guilt, treachery to the marriage, or anything like that. That kind of inhibition.
But you did feel it was wrong in some way.
No. It was something to do with a build-up of too much emotion. He's in my mind a great deal. A kind of snapshot album flicks through my head, often. Abruptly. When I'm concentrating on something quite unconnected. With you, I feel passion. It's a different response, but it's emotion just the same. And I was afraid that if I indulged the two together, I might lose control. I'm more relaxed with you now.
Well, why should it be so terrible if you cried?
Just something that my nature resists. An ingrained terror of humiliation, perhaps. That's the politician's unifying phobia. No. There's clearly something more personal. There was me before there was the politician.
Well, all you have to do is let go.
It's harder work than I expected. Isn't it supposed to be total relaxation?
I can write notes on a long stretch. Some people play chess.
Brian!
Yeah?
I think it's time I started walking back.
Okay. Now I better take over.
Careful!
We should be there about 7.
Make sure there's some ice in the fridge.
All right.
What do you want to do this evening?
Name it, we'll do it.
Shall I take you out and treat you to dinner? Find somewhere silly? Polynesian or Mexican or something to take our minds off the economic crisis.
Certainly.
Do you talk to your wife about politics?
Not lately.
I mean, did you?
Once upon a time.
Is she a socialist?
Well, reserving definition of term, yes.
A rich one?
Well, the family was always moderately well-to-do. Her father made fancy glassware. Got himself bought out by one of the multiples.
She was very young when you married. 21?
Yes, quite right.
lovely.
Yes.
Was it a very sexual marriage?
Yes.
For a long time?
This is rather like being interviewed by Playgirl.
What's going to happen with you and her?
I don't know.
It isn't finished then.
When we met, that didn't concern you or me.
Well, what I'm saying is, if she came back to you, would you still want me?
You don't seem to realize, Melly, how marvelously compelling you are.
Why do you whisper green grass? Why tell the trees what ain't so? Whispering grass, the trees don't have to know. No, no.
Take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you tell it to the breeze, but she will tell the birds and bees, and everyone will know because he told the blabbering.
Yes, he told them once before.
Stand where you are, mister, unless you want to be filled full of lead.
I tried to read one of your books once. Didn't finish it. It's the one about the seaside resort. Southend. Family business on the front. All seen through the eyes of one of the kids. What was it called?
5 minutes from the sea. What didn't you like about it?
Nothing particular. Didn't connect. Childhood wonderment. Not for me. Suppose it was about your own family. The raised working class.
Yes, largely.
How did it sell?
Modestly. It was the first, that was its importance to me. And it went into paperback.
Alice says you're going to hit the jackpot one day. She thinks the new one will do it. What's it called? It's lying around here somewhere.
The Man Who Liked Winter.
She says the good, dependable long read is on its way back. It's economic balls up. People want to bury their head in the sand a bit. You could be the new Trollope or Galsworthy. Would you like that?
Did you say that? Which writers do you like?
I don't go in for fiction much nowadays. Solzhenitsyn was a big favourite when I was at school. Really gets too emotional for me. Determined to make us angry.
You've seen a lot to get angry about.
Find him crude. Mentally coarse, like Dickens. You used to do a lot of, what's it called? Social conscience reporting when you were a journalist. Didn't you? I've heard Dad talk about it. He used to feed you a lot of the material, didn't he?
Yes, well, I got into Fleet Street on the features I did when I was on the local evening up in his constituency. He was one of the first people, national public figures anyway, to take up things like women's sweated labour, the affluent society version, the cheap shift system in the factories, the latchkey children, and all those hidden evils of booming Britain as we moved into the swinging 60s. He was always a brilliant interpreter of statistics. He could penetrate behind them, see their implications. Yes, I made sure I sustained the contact when I went to London.
Was it just Professional? Business?
Oh, no. You saw me at your house often enough, didn't you?
I meant on his part. Of course, he never went in much for friends. Guess who we're talking about? Your husband, of course.
He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases.
I wonder if Chris is talking to someone about us now.
Your mischief is becoming a little heavy-handed, my son. Too much booze before dinner at a rough guess. Eat.
It's an interesting point of conjecture, isn't it? What's Big Daddy doing now? Where's Big D? Who's he with? Where's the action? Have I got the period language right?
At least half a bottle too much.
All right. If you don't want to play, I'm not very pissed. And by known Collinson standards, I've hardly begun. Have I? No. I think Chris would regard me as a bit of a disappointment at the drinking caper. When I was your age, old son. Go and get the cheese.
David. I'm sorry, he's not at his best.
He'd fight Muhammad Ali for you.
Well, at the moment, I think I'd let him. He's not having any more of this, anyway. Christ, he can't resist showing off.
Don't worry about it. He's not unamusing. He shows promise.
I'm going to call it a day. Do you mind? Going upstairs to play some music. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, David.
We didn't campaign. Like I said all along, we didn't canvass. On the knocker, on the doorstep. Some people were too bloody confident, Morris.
You won't have it, will you, Ron? I'll admit I was wrong about it. I thought the cost of living would determine the vote. Most people would say, Europe's put our prices up, so piss off Europe. If we'd canvassed the way you wanted all over the country, it would have made no difference. It was more complex than we thought. We misread people's minds. It might have been wishful thinking, might have been arrogance, but we got the voters wrong. We got beat, forget it.
I'm not forgetting what happened here. Bernard King reckoned he'd keep Collinson quiet.
We did locally.
Yeah, but he's on that thing a lot, on the radio, in print, just like I said he would be.
Oh, be fair, he was busy, but he didn't get a lot of the limelight.
He got his point across where it mattered. He got his campaign over, despite what Bernard King says.
Bernard wants him in the government.
Right. Vicarious sense of importance. Success.
So he had a free hand.
We fell into our own trap.
There's always a threat to himself, of course. It's the likeable aspect of him, actually. He's a man of compulsive indiscretion.
And hasn't tripped him up yet.
It's kept him on the sidelines. Now, he's all keyed up for the comeback. Makes him very vulnerable. We might do worse than just wait and see for a bit.
That's how things don't get done.
You know he's left his missus. Or she's buggered off, one or the other.
No. Where'd you hear that?
The women are talking.
You going to try again?
I'm not sure he's still interested.
Or perhaps he's waiting to be asked.
A diffident Chris.
Politic. Patient. You getting to like living on your own?
I'm living in a very pretty place. I'm working soundly. I'm off the sleeping pills. I can remember Andrew without feeling faint and sick.
That's quite a lot.
I suppose it's a start. You've had more experience of separation than I have. How long does one need in order to know whether it's the best thing? Have you made a decision about Pamela?
The time factor differs for different people. Some are more intense in their needs than others.
You burn slowly. Does that make you lucky?
Not necessarily. For many people, impulse gives life its joy.
But you're not an inhibited man.
No, I don't think I'm that.
But nor are you frivolous in personal relationships. You respect affection. It's important to you.
Well, there isn't too much of that about.
So we don't know, the two of us, how long we need to stay in our separate rooms, separate lives, staying alone.
Not until we know we want something else. I think we both need to feel certain, definite. I don't think we're natural speculators, do you?
Good night, Brian.
Good night.
Different now, isn't it? You know, I was talking to young John Whitehouse the other evening up at the Labour Club. Hey, he plays golf.
Nay.
Ah, he does, and all his mates do, too. Up at Belmont with a young managerial set. Gin and tonic. Them fancy little, you know, tape recorders that they play pop music in the motor cars. I said, where were you born? Wasn't it Inkerman Street? He said, yes. I said, well, it's a bit rough going up there, wasn't it? He said, yes. Well, I said, now you've got your Tory friends to help you to spend your wages. Can you see the day when you'll be voting Tory? He said, I would. He said, if I was buying my own house, I'd have to, wouldn't I? Now then, what do you think about that, George?
Political illiteracy.
Aye, but where do you start? I mean, the lad's paid his income tax, his VAT, he's cherishing his kids, and he is a voter. He's a British citizen with full rights. He can influence how this country's run. Now, he had a referendum just lately, didn't we?
Aye.
Well, a lot of people would like to do it all over again. On hanging or grammar schools, wage restraint. That's just for starters. What do they think that I gave up 45 years of my life for political service for? Well, not to be overruled by people, well, who aren't even capable of understanding the simplest arguments.
The standard of education is very disappointing considering the amount of brass that's poured into it.
Our young Turks, our firebrands, young fellas flexing the muscles, wanted to see you and me and the old guard kicked out, along with Chris Collinson. I wonder if they realise how few people they'll have to rely on if ever they get into the driving seat. They'll find out one thing, and that is that people don't think. They have habits. They can stick to them or they can break them, but they don't think.
I'm still a bit vexed with Chris. He laid it on a bit thick about the flats. We've not heard the last of this in the council, you know.
I think he did himself a bit of good over that. The champion of the oppressed proletariat. And then suddenly, the local proletariat.
Funny game, isn't it?
Who's winning, George?
I am against putting out a group statement. I think we should let the left make all the noise, just for the moment. Let them hog the headlines. They're going to anyway, because they're the bad news, which always takes precedence.
Yeah, but if we really laid in, now that's an unqualified attack on the reshuffle as a non-event, then we'd get the space, surely.
In those terms, indeed we would. And do ourselves a lot of harm.
You don't want to invite us hostility?
No.
Putting it frankly, because it might spoil your own chances?
Obviously.
But look, you're going on the radio at lunchtime. Now, presumably you're not going to applaud the reshuffle.
Of course not.
So you are going to be critical.
Off the cuff, in conversational terms, rebutting a ferocious assault from whoever they've got to speak for the Tribune mob. Again, I want them to do the nasty stuff. This is the time to play it by ear, not for blockbuster statements. I want to box this one.
Well, the group are going to be bloody angry if they think we've missed out. A clear, unequivocal voice. That's what we're supposed to be.
Peter, where more than two people are gathered together, there is no such thing, certainly not in this building. If we put out a group statement, who would draft it? Yes, of course I would. Let me exercise my judgment in a slightly different way. They'll be grateful later. A voice inside the cabinet is what we most need. Isn't it?
Well, if you're asking me whether I think there are more cabinet changes to come, I would say no. The Prime Minister clearly had a definite reshaping in mind, and I wouldn't think he'd want to do half a job, as you might say. Dennis may find that hard to believe, but then that may be because he and some of his friends do like to nurture their sense of persecution. They want to believe that vengeance is to be visited on the anti-marketeers in the government. They seem to enjoy the promise of turmoil within the party, and are only happy when they get it. They might like to consider how much they're contributing to a feeling of dismay that is general in the country.
Well, maybe. Anyway, for my readers, be a soothsayer. What happens next? I don't believe a word of what you said on World at One.
Ah, but you're an incorrigible skeptic, Beryl.
He has a split cabinet, hasn't he? There are bound to be more casualties, aren't there? And does that let you in?
You're a very fierce lady.
I know. How long before he gets the big knife out?
You'll be very careful with all this, won't you, Beryl? It's a question of his own self-confidence. He had lost quite a lot. Now he's feeling his way back. He now has to take on the unions. His next cabinet changes must be to that end. Somebody must be brought in to do it. He won't have to declare war, because that's going to be done by the left. But he must accept the challenge. He and the Chancellor are going to try to frighten the country. Of that you can be quite sure. The certainty of mass unemployment, breadline living, the end of the road, it's all going to be thrown in. At the height of that, he has to show that it is more than rhetoric. That is when he has his night of the long time. He's got to find the courage to be brutal, because it's inconceivable that he'll get what he wants from his present team. And there is a solid weight of support for that view in the parliamentary party, I can assure you. We are waiting for him to act.